Hi everyone and welcome back to Art with Miss Choate. I hope you're having a great week and we're going to end it with I think something very exciting. Normally we do a game on Fridays. Today we're going to be doing it kind of more like an activity, a very fun activity. Now, I don't think I'm the only one who's been missing hugs from different family members and friends that I normally would see every day, every week, and I've been missing that. So what we're going to be doing today, we're going to be sending a virtual hug to somebody. Actually, not quite virtual, not like, I got inspired by this idea when a friend sent me a text with a little emoji of a virtual person sending another person a hug, and it got me thinking like how happy that made me, and it was just a little emoji. And then I was like, well, what if we physically drew ourselves giving a hug and put that in the mail? Because as some of you guys know, my goddaughter is a mail carrier, and so I'm always thinking about how can we keep supporting mail carriers. And guess what? If you have a pad of stamps at home and an envelope, you could stick this in and send it on to somebody. It's not too hard. So let's give that a shot. Now there's actually going to be a couple different ways we can do this, and so it's going to be up to you based on what supplies you have at home. If you have a big sheet of paper, you're actually going to trace your head and your arms onto a big piece of paper, or you can attach lots of pieces together to make a big piece, or we can just trace our hands and connect them with a piece of string or a piece of paper. So we're going to go over both styles, and you can pick which one best suits your supplies and what you need. So now we're going to get started.
Hi, I'm Chaopan.
And I'm his mama.
What are you doing today?
We are going to make a hug to send to people we love. So we didn't have a huge piece of paper. We do have some IKEA paper. Can you stay very still and put your hands nice and flat? It tickles just a little bit. Pencil might be a good idea. We're using a washable washable marker. Spread your fingers, please. Okay. We might have a few missteps. We already decorated the paper with green and orange. And man, does it tickle! And then you can send a hug. But isn't it a lot of fun? And what we do when we get to the middle part, there, is we're going to make a big heart. Would you like to sit up? And we taped our paper because our piece wasn't quite big enough. So we're going to bring our arms a little closer. How big should our heart be, Chaopan?
This big.
This big. So we're going to make a big heart. And we're going to write a message in the middle. What should we write to IE?
I'm going to do a lesson slide.
Okay. That part won't work because of the tape. But you can draw it in here.
I'm going to do a heart.
And then we're going to cut it up, fold it up, and send it in the mail to send a big hug. Oh, you can connect that bit. I missed that bit. Good job.
I don't know how to draw a heart.
Yes, you do. That's very much a heart.
I'm writing my name so she knows who it's from.
Oh,
From.
okay.
The other way we can send a virtual hug is by tracing our hands. Now we don't have to put them in any particular way because we will be cutting them out. So I'm just going to put them so I utilize the space of the paper. And if you're doing with somebody younger, you might need to help them out, or maybe you can have them do one hand and you do the other. Or maybe they trace and then you trace. And now we don't want to do the same hand. I almost did that. And I am going to make my paper work, so I'm going to rotate my hand a little bit. And obviously, the smaller the hand, the more you can use the paper for. Because I save all my scraps and I repurpose them. You could do this on colored paper. We can also decorate our hands, or you could use other art as well. Like if you want to take a piece of art that you already made and trace your hands and then cut them out, that could also be nice. And obviously we can write a message on these. So I'll leave that part up to you. But now we'll cut our hands out. This is great practice. And I know sometimes my students, when they make a mistake tracing their hands, they get really upset, but just tell them you're cutting it out, so it doesn't matter. If you make a mistake, try it again, because you'll just cut away the mistake. There we go, I got my first hand. So I could either round out the bottom of my hand, this is up to you. And I can make them match. So I'll round out going up to that one. So there's my hands. We could write a message like, I miss you. And like, have or whatever you want your message to say. And now we can connect our hands together. Now we could either connect them with a piece of paper, but we want it to be as long as our arm span, or we can do a ribbon, or we could look back at like an old project and think about like how we did this accordion fold, and we could put that in between. Or if you don't have any of those things, maybe you just have some tape, you could do tape stuck together. There's so many options to how we can make this for us. So just like we did the Cinco de Mayo activity, we're going to do to the hands. We're going to attach one side of the string to the other, but we can also weave in other things as well. So I would recommend using, if you're not going to trace your whole body, at least do the string the width of your arm span. So I'm going to measure mine. It's about this long. And we're going to take either some tape or some glue and put it to that side. Now we can start to weave in our other shapes. If we wanted to take that scrap paper that I told you not to get rid of and cut out a heart, you could do that. I don't much care for that heart, so let me show you. Some of you guys might already know this trick. Fold your paper in half, and then we're going to cut out a shape like that. So straight line and then a curve. Open up, you have a much better heart than the first one I did. You could even decide that you like that outline of a heart. So maybe I cut that out. Like I said, we don't need to waste the scraps. I like that a lot. And we can write on these hearts, or we could just decorate them. Whatever you want to do on them, that's up to you. And now we can put a little hole on each side. We just bend it, cut it. Oops. Don't do it the way that I just did it, guys. There we go, a little cut there. You can do 2 or 1 depending on how you want to string it. And now we can pass our string through. Now if you want to do it like the Cinco de Mayo, you'd have to do 2 little cuts, but since these are so small, I'm just going to let it dangle like that. I think that's really cute. And this will fit really easily into an envelope. So do be mindful of how much paper you're using so that way you know it's staying under, 1 or 2 ounces for a regular stamp. But you can do quite a bit of paper. So now I got my hearts there. You could even, we talked about this one, pass this one through, that's easy. And then I'm gonna do one final, maybe big heart. Maybe I'll write like, can't wait to see you. And I'm using some old art for this one. And if you had a hole punch, that would also work. This one I'm going to do 2, 1 there, 1 here. And we're going to pass that through. So now you can see we have those hearts, our little message, and then the last thing would be attaching it to this hand. And I'm just going to use some tape. Now, like I said, you can fill it up as much as you want. You can decorate your hands as much as you want. But I'm quite happy with this hug. And then you can see it collapses pretty nicely to go into an envelope. So I want to show you guys what this looks like spread out. Step back a little bit so you can really see. It's the width of my arms. And it has the message in between. And you could fill that string up with even more awesomeness and messages. Now remember, I didn't add much detail to mine. You can paint it, you can color it, you can write tons of messages inside of it. Same thing with the hands, you can write tons of messages inside of them. So don't forget to add that detail. I'm just giving you a base idea and I want to see where you go with it. So remember, as always, please send that pictures to me. So show me what it looks like and tag me so I can see on any of the social media platforms. If you liked this idea, please hit that like button, comment, and subscribe as always. And I hope you join me for the weekend art with Miss Choate in the studio. Bye.